In today's video I'll be showing you how I do my foundation and the base of my makeup, including my eyebrows, highlight, contour, etc. I thought it would be a good thing to film because every single time I do my makeup I do my base the same way, so it seems a bit pointless me recording videos where I do makeup looks using the same makeup products for my face every single time. So I thought if I just do one video explaining it, then all the other videos I do can show you the differences with my eye makeup and lipstick. So if you want to see how I get my foundation of my makeup, carry on watching. So my face has already been washed. I'm going to prime it with the MUA Pro Base Primer. For foundation I'm using a mix of the Rimmel Max Perfection and a really light foundation that I've got from Pound Shop, I think. I'm kind of running out of both, so I'm just going to try and mix them both together. I start by buffing my foundation out with a fluffy buffing brush. I got mine from eBay. I got a set for about £5. Once it's buffed in, not fully but just enough to spread, I then bounce my sponge. It's not a beauty blender, it's one from, I think it was from eBay, but it's quite squidgy, it's not that bad, and it's about £1. Okay, I'm looking super pale on the viewfinder, but it's actually quite a good match to my skin colour. It's still slightly pink. I would prefer a lighter foundation. I've got the shade 010 Light Porcelain, which I think is the lightest shade. People have told me that the red cap of the Rimmel Max Perfection is a lot lighter and better, so I'm going to try that next time that I go shopping, because this one's like really running out, so I need a new one. So yeah, I buffed that all in and it's looking okay. Just going to run it down my neck a little bit. Okay, so then next is concealer. I just use the MUA Cover and Conceal Concealer Wand, and I've got the lightest colour, which is Fair. And then just under the eyes. I do it one by one because I don't like my concealer to dry and get all creased. I also bring it up onto the eyelid, and that's my way of priming my eyelids. I'm just covering up the spots I have and some red areas around my nose. Next I'm going to set under my eyes. So I don't have a loose powder, but I just use my face setting powder, which at the moment is the Collection Press Powder, because it's really light. I normally use the Rimmel London face powder, but I fancied a change. So with the Collection one I get a triangular sponge and I just press it in a few times and then I dab under my eyes. So it collects quite a lot of powder, so I just use that to set under my eyes. I look a bit crazy. Okay, so while that is setting, if I'm going out on a night out, I will use cream contour and powder contour, as well as cream and powder highlight. So I start with the highlighter, and it's running out, which is really sad, but I use this High Beam one from Benefit. Just put a tiny bit onto just a sponge, and then dab it into the cheekbones. It brings out the colour of the highlight a lot better, and it gives it a nice base to sit on. And then for cream contour, I use a palette that I got from eBay for about £3. It's just one of those concealer palettes, and I use this shade up here, the lightest brown. It's quite subtle, quite warm toned, but I think it works well to give my face a bit of colour as it's so light. And then I go on top with the powders. So for contour, I use this really flat, quite skinny contour brush. I think these are from eBay as well, just like knockoff versions of them, mermaid ones. And at the moment I'm using a contour palette from Primark. A lot of people don't like this because it's very muddy, but I use a tiny bit. I use the middle shade, which is kind of cool toned, like 2 dabs and then really lightly. And then I will powder the whole face. I use this powder brush. I've had this for as long as I've been doing makeup, I think. So I take the collection powder and just put it everywhere, down the neck definitely. And then I'll also make sure to blend it into the contour because it's looking pretty dark. I'm just going to put a little bit of some contour on the tops of my cheek, the top of my forehead. Okay, so now for highlight, which is my favourite bit. I have this brush. Again, I have no idea where it's from. It's really thick compared to other highlighter brushes, but I love it. So my favourite highlighter at the moment, which has kind of been all time, is the MUA Undress Your Skin highlighter in iridescent gold. This is a lot of YouTubers' favourite drugstore highlighter. It's just really pigmented and the colour is so light, and I have very light skin tone. So I just put quite a lot of highlighter on. Swirl my brush in it a few times on the cheekbones, bring it up to the temples. I also like to put a little bit on my nose and Cupid's bow. That's an alright amount of highlight. I reckon if I was just going to the shops or something, that's what I'd wear. But just to whack it up a little bit more, I'm going to use this highlighting brush, which is a little bit smaller. It's a lot fluffier, more flimsy. Again, looks like a mermaid. And I'm also going to use the Makeup Revolution Strobing highlighter in Flash. This one is... I really love the pigmentation on this one, but it's got like a green... It's like green iridescent and it's not very natural. So I only really wear this one if I'm going out on a night out or if I just want to be extra. Okay, so now onto brows and then I'm just about done. So for brows, I don't have a really good brow product at the moment, which is a shame. I need to go makeup shopping soon. So I just use this angled brush that I think I got it from AliExpress for like 60p. And then I've got an eyebrow pencil from Pound Shop, which is dark brown, which is okay, but it's not very creamy. It's quite difficult to use. So I've been using the concealer and contour palette that I use for my actual contour, and I've been using the darkest shade just to fill them in, because I'm quite lucky that my brows are very dark naturally, so there's not much I need to do on them apart from shaping, because they're so uneven. I don't know if you can tell, probably. But the shade in this palette is really too warm toned for me. It's okay when I have my hair, like I dyed my hair red, but it's kind of gone back to natural now, but it's a bit too warm toned for me, but it will do. So I start with just going through my brows with the dark colour from the contour palette. And my eyebrows are so uneven, but every single time I try and even them out, they look fine, so I don't know, my eyes are really bad at judging whether or not they're even. Because like this one has a higher arch than this one, but then when I look in the mirror it looks fine. I'm just so confused. How do they look? Well, they look a little bit better. Okay, they will do. So once I've coloured them in, then I just go over it at the top with some clear mascara, which just works like clear eyebrow gel. They're still uneven. Okay, I'm gonna try using the eyebrow pencil to just make this one a bit more arched because they look a bit wonky. I think that's as good as they're gonna get at the moment. I'm just so bad at judging. I have such a bad time getting things equal. My eyebrows and eyeliner is awful. Okay, so this is the face base. My eyes have got a bit red, I think I've got concealer in them. I think this is about it. So I will come back once I've done my eyes and my lips. Okay, so that was the video. I hope you enjoyed. The eye look I have done separately in a different video, which will be up already, so go and check that out. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you want me to do in my next video, and I will see you then. Bye! I fancied to try something different. I normally use the it's just super cheap and it just works. Hi, so in today's video I'll be showing you how I do my foundation and my face and the base of my face.